This video is part of a series I'm doing on copy trading. So copy trading is essentially where you are copying the trades of another trader. So you register with a broker that allows you to do this, and then you copy the trader. So you're leveraging their expertise, and that's really all it is. So this particular video is about NCM Signal. They've been around for a few years. For me, the jury's kind of out on these guys. They had a bit of a hiccup recently, which we'll come to. But other than that, they've been pretty successful. So yeah, the jury's out with me. I might still try them out. So this is the homepage, NCM Signal, and I'm just going to go through and do sort of quick review and look at a few review sites. So on the homepage, then they've got the annual gain, which is 60% annual gain. They've been running for a few years, since about start 2018. I've got a total gain of 512% on that time. So the website is actually quite nice. So I'm not going to go into like too much detail, but I'm just going to point out some main points really. So let's just have a look at this first part of the website here. The NCM Signal is an automated Forex trade copy service. Our subscribers can automatically copy our trading strategy onto their MT4 account. So if you don't know what an MT4 account is, it's essentially just a sort of standard trading setup where you can make trades by connecting to any particular broker. That's it. I'll do another video on that. Our service is a monthly subscription, and the prices are independent of the investing fund size. So their price is $39 a month, which this is quite sort of hassle-free. It doesn't really change. The amount doesn't change based on the amount you invest. It's just $39 a month. So obviously it has to be over a certain amount really to be worth it, but so that's fine. There's other sort of signal services that have, there can be sort of like quite a sort of, how can I put it, awkward kind of fee structure really. But with these guys, you can stop and start whenever you want. It's just $39 a month. It's quite convenient actually in comparison. So yeah, they've got full control over your investment. So each account owner has full control over their money at all times. We never have access to their funds on their trading accounts. We only have trading privileges to execute trades. So as I say, they're like a master account, and when they make a trade, if you're copying them, that gets executed on your account too. So nice and simple. They are regulated. They're going through a regulated broker, although they're not FCA regulated in terms of, if you're in the UK, they're not like FCA regulated. I mean, we'll talk about that in a second, but they're at least, they're going through a regulated broker. It's fully automated. There's no lock-in. Yeah, so they have verified transparent results, which is true. If you go to my FX book history, it will link to this page here, which shows NCM and their verified track record. So they're actually taking these trades from the broker. So this is their trades that obviously will get copied by you if you took up their service. But these are verified trades that come from the broker. So you can sort of, my FX book is a kind of standard service that's set up to do just that, so you can see what their trading history and results are through an independent service. So it's pretty good, but we'll come into this in a second. So yep, verified results through my FX book. That's good, safe and reliable. So as we say before, our automated service is entirely safe for our investors. By registering, we only have the right to execute trades on your trading account. We will never have direct access to your funds. It will stay on your account. So that's fine. That's all good. And then at the bottom of the page here, you've got quite a nice little calculator So I'm going to show you something, some sort of a scenario where you might sort of get your money back, and then you're left with a certain amount after that, which can then just grow. So obviously it depends on the amount you initially put in, but the principle kind of works however much you put in. Although the more you put in, the kind of the slightly better return it is in terms of like what you pay in fees. So for example, say you put equivalent of 9k in. Now you want to put at least 2k in, and then it's feasible. But say you put 9k in, so it's $9,000 over 12 months, and the risk of 100%, so 100% is the same risk as the actual traders, which should be 60% gain. So at the end of year one, you'd have, if all things go well, and of course there's always risk involved, but they did pretty well up to this little hiccup here, which we'll talk about. But that's from the start of 2018. It's got 60% gain each year. So if you've got 5,400 estimated interest, so you'd have around about that, all things going well at the end of year one. The $400 kind of takes care of your fees, your trading fees at $39 a month. It's a bit more, but like for argument's sake, you can take back that 5,000. You can say you withdraw that out of the 9,000, and then you take back 4,000, which gives you your 9k investment back. So you've got 4,000 balance at the end of year one. So that's quite nice. You've got like quite a nice tidy sum there, and you're making about 2.5k per year. So that's, and obviously the same principle works. You could put 4k in, and then you make that 2k back. You kind of, that's your fees, so you get your 2k back, and then you're going from that. Then you're making just 1,200. So obviously the more you put in, the more you get left with if you try this kind of withdrawal strategy. And then you're making consistent gains at a higher level from that point forward. So it's like compounding as well. Obviously that depends on the amount of funds sort of willing to allocate to this kind of a service. And then so they've got some Trustpilot ratings here that's actually gone down, which we'll show you in a second. And they talk about at the bottom of the page here, sort of withdrawal strategy. So that's good as well. They're thinking about that kind of principle of how you get your money back out. So then on the system, this is kind of a bit more about how it works. And they're very upfront. Like I say, they've got links to their MyFX book history. They're showing this little hiccup here. So they're talking about their broker is IC Markets, regulated by the Australian Securities and Investment Commissions. So they're regulated. The broker's regulated there. They're showing their monthly history here from when they started. So there's something doesn't quite add up here, but we'll talk about it in a second. So only sort of like the 2 months where they were down, and that is borne out by their FX book history. So if we just scroll down, I think it's here, the worst trade. So the 82% win rate. The worst trade here was in September, $126. Again, that necessarily wouldn't mean what you would get. It just means depending on the size of your trading account, really. So that's in September. But what I wanted to talk about here was this. So they had some kind of issue this year around July, and that's been reflected in some of the bad reviews they got. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened here. The equity went down there on their account. So they're operating this Martingale. they talk about this here. They operate in this sort of battle strategy, this Martingale strategy, which is kind of widely criticised. It's like an automated strategy where you can make opposing trades from your losing trades that can make that money back, so the trades reach zero loss. But the criticism that it has is essentially that it can work for a while, but after a while, when it blows up, it can blow up kind of quite big. Now, if you look into this, there are ways to mitigate that, I think. And so I don't actually know what the light grid martingale strategy is. And to say, although the grid trading comes in with some risk by nature, it's a great tool if handled correctly. So there are ways that you can sort of mitigate the big drawdowns that you get. And by and large, that was working for them until, so from start 2018 until July this year. Then they had some issues with drawdowns. Now, what's hard, what you can't really see is like, maybe these were customers that had, risk at 200%. If you read the reviews, there were customers that had risk at that kind of level. So maybe those accounts got kind of drawn down more than, the people that are more conservative, maybe 50 or 100. So it's hard to tell. But if you go to their reviews on Trustpilot, you see that's gone down from that's 3.6, and let's just have a look at them, a few of these. So this is October. Absolute scams, do not trust, lost huge amounts of money. So again, I think this is probably the people with higher risk levels that they set on their account. I'm not sure, but some people have lost money here. August 2021. No money in resident account is now dead. Again, August, they blew almost all accounts with Martingale. So this is this Martingale strategy. Draw down 95%. This is July, lost a lot of money. All positions were automatically closed. Again, July, high risk blue accounts. So this is July, scam company, they disappeared with all the money. Well, they didn't disappear with all the money. The accounts got kind of stopped out, margin called. Again, they were running fine up to that point. Used the service for almost 2 years. I liked it a lot. Too bad it slipped into this situation. July, 50% drawdown next month, 3% 1 month, and no email reply. So it's not great that they didn't reply. Again, July. So you can read through these, but they had this. That's July. That's July. Again, all in sort of July, they started. Some accounts were blown out. Low return, single low risk, and lost a huge part of my account on this trade. So I didn't lose all of it. A huge part of my account. Had to close money and no replies to emails. So yeah, as I say, it's very hard to say. It's probably the customers that had higher risk levels. But this is their account as well, and so the equity is shown is going right down here. The growth is still going up at us, I'm not sure. But since then, it could be that the manual part of their strategy wasn't executed properly. Someone goes on holiday and it's around holiday time, so who knows? But that's obviously some people lost money. But overall, it's still not bad. So the jury's out really. So they show here that this is September. So what's not clear is that if accounts are being blown out here, how comes in around July and August they're still showing gains? Unless it was just a few customers, that were taking too much risk. Since then they're kind of steady. It's not amazing, but it's steady for November. October is just over 2%. So yeah, a couple of other things then. Forex Robot Nation, this is a pretty good site for, it's more for robots and expert advisors, what they sort of review, but because NCM Signal is essentially a kind of automated expert advisor copied service, they've reviewed it. The other kind of negative point, which I'll just show you here as well, is that if you go to the site, you know, there's no indication of like who the company is. They're not transparent in that sense, who they are, who the traders are, who the company is. So you can't really do proper due diligence. You know, this just leads back to the home page, this link here. The privacy policy in terms of the service talk about NCM Signal LLC. It doesn't, you know, and if you try to look that up online, there's no real information. So I'll just read this out. They aren't transparent about the company. They do not introduce us to their team, nor do they provide an address for their corporate headquarters. Due to lack of detail, we aren't able to research any of their trade analysts, making it difficult to know if they have ample experience in the Forex market. This is information that should be provided by the vendor to increase the confidence that we have in their service. You know, I'm saying that, so they do the review, which is kind of what we talked about. They still like it, you know. Generally, we don't find ourselves very interested in copy trading, as it's just so close to Forex robot trading, when we would rather have the extra control. So these guys want to just, you know, buy a robot and just run it. Though for clients that are looking for something that's a bit more hands-off than robots, this is an interesting service. So, you know, they're still saying, and these guys, Forex Robot Nation, have been around for a while, and they still like it despite, you know, this loss here. So yeah, you know, the jury's out really. I tried to find out about this NCM trading, like in sort of the UK company information. There are some companies, there were two that, I mean, you just don't know. NCM trading, this probably might have been the same, a previous company, maybe NCM were kind of operating before, I'm not sure. This incorporated in 2016, and they were sort of struck off 2018. And you know, so the company is, it's Niels Manberg was a director, and it was, you know, this is NCM Trading. So you know, it might have been them as a previous company, I'm not sure. And there was one before that which were incorporated in 2013 and struck off in 2015, so kind of around about the same time it started out. Who knows? But there's no. The point is, there's no. You can't do due diligence on them because they're not saying who they are. You know. There again, on saying that, you know, if you buy a robot, you know, you generally don't know. Well, sometimes you do, but you know, you don't necessarily know the people you're buying from. At least you do know these guys. They've been around for a while. They're completely transparent in terms of their trading history. And despite this hiccup, it looked like they're back up on, you know, hopefully they would have kind of, I don't know, learned a lesson here in terms of like their strategy, which might make them more resilient. So jury's out really, but in general, they were you know, having quite a good, they had quite a good service up to that point. So yeah, I might still try these guys out. I'm not sure, but so I hope you got some good information from this video. Please like and subscribe to help me out on YouTube if you can. And thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.